Exodus 37 to 40. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. Its length was 2.5 cubits, and its width a cubit and a half, and a cubit and a half its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and made a gold molding around it. And he cast 4 rings of gold for it. In its 4 feet, 2 rings on its side, and 2 rings on its other side. And he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark. And he made a mercy seat of pure gold. Its length was 2.5 cubits, and a cubit and a half its width. And he made 2 cherubim of gold. And he made them of beaten work at the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 cherub at one end and 1 cherub at the other end. He made the cherubim of one piece with the mercy seat and its 2 ends. The cherubim spread out their wings above, covering the mercy seat with their wings, with their faces toward one another. The faces of the cherubim were toward the mercy seat. He made the table of acacia wood. Its length was 2 cubits, and its width was a cubit, and its height was a cubit and a half. And he overlaid it with pure gold. And he made a gold molding all around it. And he made a border of a hand's width around it, and made a golden molding on its border around it. And he cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put the rings in the 4 corners that were on its feet. The rings were close by the border, and the places for the poles to carry the table. He made the poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold to carry the table. And he made the vessels which were on the table, its dishes, its spoon, its bowls, its pitchers, with which to pour out of pure gold. He made the menorah of pure gold. He made the menorah of beaten work. Its base, its shafts, its cups, its buds, its flowers were of one piece with it. And there were 6 branches going out of its side, 3 branches of the menorah out of its side, and 3 branches of the menorah out of the other side. 3 cups made like almond blossoms in one branch, a bud and a flower, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the other branch, a bud and a flower, so that the 6 branches going out of the menorah. In the menorah were four cups made like almond blossoms, its buds and its flowers, and a bud under 2 branches of one piece with it, and a bud under 2 branches of one piece with it, and a bud under 2 branches of one piece with it, so for the 6 branches going out of it. Their buds and their branches were of one piece with it. The whole thing was one beaten work of pure gold. He made it 7 lamps, and its snuffers, and its snuff dishes of pure gold. He made it of a talent of pure gold with all its vessels. He made the altar of incense of acacia wood. It was square, its length was a cubit, its width a cubit, its height was 2 cubits, its horns were of one piece with it. He overlaid it with pure gold. Its top and its sides around it, its horns, he made a gold molding around it. He made 2 golden rings for it under its molding crown, on its 2 ribs and on its 2 sides, for places for poles with which to carry it. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. And he made the holy anointing of oil, their pure incense with sweet spices, after the art of the perfumer. He made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. It was square. Its length was 5 cubits, and its width was 5 cubits, and its height was 3 cubits. He made its horns and its 4 corners. Its corners were of one piece with it. He overlaid it with bronze. He made all the vessels of the altar, the pots and the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. He made all its vessels of bronze, and he made for the altar of grating of a network of bronze under the ledge, around it beneath, reaching halfway up. He cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of the bronze grating, to the places for the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He put the poles into the rings of the sides of the altar with which to carry it. He made it hollow with planks. He made the basin of bronze, and its base of bronze, out of the mirrors of the ministering women who ministered at the door of the tent of meeting. He made the court for the south side southward, hanging of the court were the fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets 20 of bronze. The hooks of the pillars of their fillets were of silver. For the north side 100 cubits, their pillars 20, their sockets 20 of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, and the hooks of the pillars and their pillets of silver. For the east side eastward 50 cubits, the hangings for the one side were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3, and so for the other side on this hand and on that hand by the gate of the court were hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All the hangings around the court were of fine twined linen. The sockets for the pillars were of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. Their capitals were overlaid with silver. All the pillars of the court had silver bands. The screen for the gate of the court was the work of a weaver, of blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. 20 cubits was the length, and the height of all the width was 5 cubits, like the hangings of the court. Their pillars were 4, and their sockets 4 of bronze, their hook of silver, and the overlaying of their capitals, and their fillets of silver. And all the pins of the tabernacle around the court were bronze. These are the number of the things for the tabernacle of the testimony, as they were appointed according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the Kohen. Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that Yahweh had commanded Moses. With him was Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a skillful workman, and a weaver in blue and purple, scarlet, and fine linen. All the gold that was used in the work, in all the work of the sanctuary, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The silver of those who were counted on the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. Becca a head, that is, half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone who passed over to those who were counted from 20 years and upward. For 3,550 men, the 100 talents of silver were for casting, the sockets in the sanctuary, and the sockets of the parakahit. 100 sockets for 100 talents, 1 talent per socket. From the 1,775 shekels he made hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made fillets for them. The bronze of the offering were 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. With this he made the sockets to the door of the tent of meeting, the bronze altar, and the bronze grating for it, all the vessels of the altar, the sockets around the courts, the sockets at the gate of the court, all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins around the court. Moreover, from the blue and purple and scarlet they made fine woven garments for ministering in the holy place. They made the holy garments for Aaron, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He made the ephod of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. They beat the gold into thin plates and cut it into wires to work it with the blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, the work of a skillful workman. They made shoulder straps for it, joined together. It was joined together at the 2 ends. The skillfully woven band of his ephod was on it, was like its workmanship, in the same material of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, as Yahweh commanded Moses. They made onyx stones enclosed in settings of gold, engraved with engraving of a signet, according to the names of the sons of Israel. He put them on the shoulder straps of the ephod to be stones of memorial for the sons of Israel, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He made the breastplate for the work of a skillful workman, like the work of the ephod, of gold, of blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was square. They made the breastplate double. Its length was a span, and its width a span, being double. They set in it 4 rows of stones. A row of ruby, topaz, beryl, and was the first row. The second row of turquoise, sapphire, and emerald. The third row, jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a chrysolite, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in gold settings. The stones were, according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, everyone according to his name, for the 12 tribes. They made on the breastplate chains like cords of braided work of pure gold. They made two settings of gold and the 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. They put the 2 braided chains of gold in the 2 rings at the end of the breastplate. The other 2 ends of the 2 braided chains they put on the 2 settings, and put them in the shoulder straps of the ephod, in its front. They made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate on its edge, which was toward the side of the ephod inward. They made 2 more rings of gold, and put them on the 2 shoulder straps of ephod underneath, in its front, close by its coupling. Above the skillfully woven band of the ephod, they bound the breastplate by its rings to the 2 rings of the ephod, the blue cord, that it might be on the skillfully woven band of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not come loose from the ephod, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He made the robe of the ephod, the 2 woven work all of blue, the opening of the robe in the middle, and it was like the opening of a coat of mail, with a binding around its opening. And it was like that it should not be torn. They made of the skirts of the robe pomegranates of blue, purple, scarlet, and twined linen. They made bells of pure gold, and attached the bells between the pomegranates of the hem of the robe, all around between the pomegranates, a bell and a pomegranate, and a bell and a pomegranate, around the skirts of the robe, to minister in, as Yahweh commanded Moses. They made the tunics of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and his sons, and the turban of fine linen, and the linen headbands of fine linen, the linen trousers of fine twined linen, the sash of fine twined linen, blue, purple, and scarlet, the work of a weaver, as Yahweh commanded Moses. They made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote on it inscription like the engraving of a signet, holy to Yahweh. They tied it to blue cord to fasten it in the turban above, as Yahweh commanded Moses. Thus all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting was finished. The sons of Israel did according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so they did. They brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent with all its furniture, its clasps, its boards, its bars, its pillars, its sockets, the coverings of ram skin dyed red, the covering of sea-cow hides, the paracahit of the screen, the ark of the covenant with its poles, the mercy seat, the table, all its vessels, the showbread, the pure menorah, its lamps, even the lamps to be set in order, all its vessels, the oil for the light, the golden altar, the anointing oil, the sweet incense, the screen for the door of the tent, the bronze altar, its grating of bronze, its poles, and all of its vessels, the brazen in its base, the hangings, the court, its pillars, its sockets, the screen for the gate of the court, its cords, its pins, and its all instruments of service of the tabernacle, for the tent of meeting, the finely worked garments for ministering in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the Kohen, and the garments of his sons to minister as Kohanim, according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses. The sons of Israel did all the work. Moses saw all the work, and behold, they had done it as Yahweh had commanded. They had done so, and Moses blessed them. Then Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, on the first day of the first month you shall rise up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. You shall put the ark of the covenant in it, and you shall screen the ark with the paracahit. You shall bring in the table and set in order the things that are in it. You shall bring in the menorah and light its lamps. You shall set the golden altar for incense before the ark of the covenant, and put the screen of the door of the tabernacle. You shall set the altar of burnt offering before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. You shall set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. You shall set up the court around it, and hang up the screen of the gate of the court. You shall take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all that is in it. You shall make it holy for all its furniture, and it will be holy. You shall anoint the altar of burnt offering with all its vessels, and sanctify the altar, and the altar will be most holy. You shall anoint the basin in its base, and sanctify it. You shall bring Aaron and his sons to the door of tent meeting. You shall wash them with water. You shall put on Aaron the holy garments, and you shall anoint him and sanctify him, that he may minister to me as Kohen. You shall bring his sons and put tunics on them and anoint them, as you anoint their father, and they may minister to me as Kohanim. Their anointing shall be to them for an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. Moses did so, according to all that Yahweh commanded him. So he did. And it came to pass in the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was raised up. Moses raised up the tabernacle, laid its sockets, and set up its boards, and put in its bars, and raised up its pillars. He spread the coverings over the tent, and put the roof of the tabernacle above on it, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He took and put the covenant into the ark, and set the poles on the ark, and put the mercy seat above on the ark. He brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the paracahite of the screen, and screened the ark of the covenant, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the table in the tent of meeting on the north side of the tabernacle. Outside of the paracahite, he set the bread in order on it before Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the menorah in the tent of meeting opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle. And he lit the lamps before Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put the golden altar in the tent of meeting in front of the paracahite, and he burnt incense of sweet spices on it, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He put up the screen of the door of the tabernacle. He set the altar of burnt offering at the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and offered on it the burnt offerings and the grain offerings, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water therein, with which to wash. Moses, Aaron, and his feet washed their hands and their feet there. When they went into the tent of meeting, and when they came near to the altar, they washed, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He raised up the court around the tabernacle and the altar, set up the screen of the gate of the court. So Moses finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tent of the meeting, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. Moses was not able to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud stayed on it, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. When the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the sons of Israel went onward throughout all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, they did not travel into the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of Yahweh was on the tabernacle by day, and there was fire in the cloud by night, and in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys.